What's up, draft enthusiasts? Dave here from draftdashboard.com, with a midweek update on our DFS picks for this weekend. Let's dive into the top picks for your lineups. Starting with the quarterback position, it's all about Lamar Jackson from the Baltimore Ravens this week. His dash rank is a solid 100, and he's facing the Cleveland Browns, who sport a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. Lamar Jackson is averaging a whopping 28 fantasy points per game, and just recently put up impressive fantasy scores 35 2 games ago and 37 last week. He's projected for 22 points this weekend. Despite the MVP hype surrounding him, he's only projected to be about 5.5% owned, making him a standout under the radar pick. Derrick Henry even highlighted him as the undeniable MVP choice, confirming Jackson's exceptional form. That's why I like Lamar Jackson here versus the Cleveland Browns. Switching over to the running back position, Joe Mixon from the Houston Texans is our focus. With a dash rank of 100, he's up against the Indianapolis Colts, who have one of the worst defenses overall, making for a favorable matchup. Mixon has been a standout player, averaging 24 fantasy points per game, and he bounced back with 29 and 30 points over his last games. With ownership sitting at 16.81%, he's projected for 19 points, and given the Colts' weak defense, I see him shining again. Mixon called out the NFL recently on player safety, showing he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. So, I like Joe Mixon here versus the Indianapolis Colts. Now onto the wide receiver position, and Drake London from the Atlanta Falcons is on my radar. He's facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have one of the worst defenses overall. London is averaging a strong 18 fantasy points per game, and while he had a consistent performance recently, putting up 18 points last game, he's been capable of putting up big numbers. With an ownership of 15.02%, and projected at 17 points, it's a solid opportunity. His big plays have come in crucial moments, making him a reliable pick. So I like Drake London here versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next, let's check out the tight end slot, where David Yoku from the Cleveland Browns makes the cut. He's up against the Baltimore Ravens, who have one of the worst defenses overall. Yoku, with a dash rank of 100, has been averaging 11 fantasy points per game, including a breakout 24-point performance in his last outing. He's looking at an ownership of 9.05% and projected at 12 points, making him an intriguing option, especially given the challenging circumstances the Browns have been facing. Njoku's potential to produce is undeniable, and I like David Yoku here versus the Baltimore Ravens. Moving on to the flex position, Josh Jacobs from the Green Bay Packers is in focus. He's facing the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are one of the least effective teams defensively. Jacobs has averaged 14 fantasy points per game with steady contributions, including a recent surge with 20 points. With a projected score of 15 and 6.73% ownership, he's in a prime position to exploit the matchup against a weaker Jaguars defense. Finally, on defense, the Detroit Lions going up against the Tennessee Titans looks promising. The Lions have an opponent rank of 31, showing they're in a perfect spot to capitalize on the Titans' faltering offense. With a low ownership of 2.55% and a dash rank of 100, they could be a solid low-salary defensive option this week. Don't forget to take advantage of our daily fantasy tools by clicking the link in the description below to refine your lineup. Thanks for tuning in today. Remember to like and subscribe for more updates. Good luck this week, and let's snag those fantasy victories.